The Coupe, situated in Columbia Heights, Washington D.C, is a favorite hangout place for people from all walks of life. The aspiring screenplay writer or novelist, single folk, couples, the family of four, a businessman or woman, heck, even a president stopped by here once to have a working lunch in this relaxing atmosphere. As you enter, you're greeted by an unpretentious setting of brick walls, hardwood floors, and eclectic furniture. Whether you're sitting inside or outside, all the tables provide you with a wonderful view of the neighborhood and the locals as they pass by. Today, I had the pleasure of sitting with Jocelyn DeHass, events community and PR manager, who took the time to explain how the Coupe is building meaningful connections one animal cracker at a time. When did this place open exactly?
October 4th, 2012.
2012, so it's been here roughly now
Yeah.
about close to, we're coming up on 10 years.
2012.
2012?
Yeah.
So 2022,
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah.
Are you all going to plan something extravagant for the 10-year anniversary or what?
We will. Yes, we often do. Actually, our whole restaurant group is celebrating 20 years this year. Tryst opened in '98, so this is our 20th year of business across the board. So we are, Chris, we are celebrating our whole company for the length of time. So it's been it's exciting. Like to have a successful operation for 20 years in this business is a feat.
Especially in D.C.
Yes.
I can only
I
imagine.
think anywhere.
Anywhere, period.
Yeah.
Because you always hear like that whole myth. What is that myth about
That
restaurants?
this is easy?
Well, that 98% of them all go under the first year. I mean, like,
That's not a myth.
why does that happen?
Because people think that this is easy and you're going to make a lot of money. Both of those things are not true.
When you opened this place up, what was the most difficult part about when you opened it up?
This locate for the Coupe, this is a very large place. It is our largest that we have.
Right.
It's 7,000 square feet. It's a big restaurant.
Okay.
It's a block, basically. It's almost the entire block.
Yeah.
So the build out is always, like, construction always takes forever. Mm-hmm. Dealing with DC takes forever. And then it just takes a long time to build things. And then you have to staff it, and then you have to figure out what the heck you're doing and all that. And this was probably start to finish once we picked this location. It was probably about a 3-year process.
So when you were picking out locations, why did you choose this particular spot along 11th Street up here?
Well, Columbia Heights is kind of two neighborhoods together. There's the 14th Street part, which is where the DC USA is, and the big commercial, the Target, and all that stuff.
Right.
And then 11th Street was more attractive to us because it's the local block.
Right.
So, along with us, all the other restaurants on this street are all owned by local folks.
Okay.
What we do is be the community anchor.
Okay.
Most places aren't open all the time like we are. It's not the best business model, let's say, to be open from 6 or 7 a.m. until last call every day of the week. But our objective was to be that place for everybody.
Okay.
And
have you all been received well by the neighborhood, or is it still kind of like,
yes,
why are you guys here?
No. There's been nothing. Well, when we were getting ready to open here, one of the rules that I have is I do all the government community relations stuff. Okay. So when you have to go in front of the AMCs, the neighborhood commissions, to get your liquor license approved, to get blessings from the community and all the things you need to have happen. I was pregnant again because we were trying to get the patio. Sorry. So I was pregnant and hot and annoyed. And this woman was just a lot of people yell at you at these meetings when you're presenting information. So she's was screaming at me about the patio and that I was gonna make her walk on the grass. And just yelling at me. And I was ma'am, don't yell at me, number one. It's not necessary. But there's no way I'm going to make you walk on the grass because the law says I have to be 10 feet from the curb.
Yes, exactly.
It was this I was intruding on her neighborhood in a way because she had lived here for way longer than we have been around. So it's a balance. You really have to. I think if you're genuine in who you are as a business, then you can. If you're bullshitting, people can tell. You just don't. Like, be a genuine person.
Do you have regulars that come through here?
The mayor, she's a big regular.
Really?
Yes, Miss Bowser. She always sits over there.
Okay, does she come in with like her entourage, or is this her?
She's usually here with friends.
Okay.
And they have their detail, but she's only got like 2 dudes.
Okay.
But you just, with the earbuds, you can tell that she's around. But yeah, she's in here a lot. She's our most currently famous regular. It's a mix. Excuse me. It depends on like what time of day you're here.
Let's say
like there's like the bar regulars.
Yeah, the bar regular. Like what type of bar regulars? Like if I were to come in here, like what am I going to see here on a regular, like a Thursday afternoon?
Right.
Who's going to be there?
A mix. It's a really big mix of there's like industry folks that hang out in here. There's like university students.
Okay.
We actually have a lot of folks from the hospitals around here. That's usually in the morning. Like they come when they get off their shift at 7 a.m. They come here because we're pretty sandwiched. Like it takes like 4 minutes to get to, depending on the time of day, but like Washington Hospital Center and the VA and Children's Hospital is all right over there. So we get a lot of traffic from them. It really is a mix. Like it's all over the place.
With everybody coming through here from just different backgrounds.
Yeah.
For lunch, Jocelyn had a signature dish known as Coupe fries, short rib debris, cheese curds, B&B jalapenos situated in brown gravy. I went conservative and had their turkey BLT, roasted turkey breast, bacon, tomato, lettuce, and garlic mayo on wheat bread with a side salad.
How would you describe the atmosphere here?
We are casual. It is a place where everybody can feel comfortable. I said earlier, like people come in here multiple times a day. We have a lot of people like work here from here because they're on their computers or they're writing their novel or whatever it is that they're doing. I think it's a friendly place that like works for pretty much everybody.
Where did you all get the idea of the furniture over in the
lounge section?
The lounge section, yes.
So that's the carryover from Trist. So when we opened Trist, that was all the furniture was that. And do you remember Chicha Lounge on U Street? Speaking about U Street,
yes.
Like and like Chicha's had that vibe. So when we opened Trist, it was the living room. That's the like vibe that we were going for, and didn't want it to be like new couches and stuff. It wanted to like have a vintage feel and things.
What is it like being a restaurateur in Washington D.C.?
Well, I can't claim to own these because I do not, but we have one owner,
right?
And he owns everything himself,
Okay.
and we do all the rest of us like have various positions, but to run a business of this size in this town is hard, but DC's unique in that in the small business owner perspective, like we're all very supportive of each other. It's not as cutthroat as like New York or whatever. Like I know everybody that owns a business on this block.
Okay.
I've known them for 20 years because we've all grown up in this business together, and like you're more successful as a group than you are as an individual. So like especially on 11th Street where you want people to stay up in the neighborhood as opposed to like leave the neighborhood to go down to Shaw or 14th Street or whatever. You want all of your partners on this street to be putting out a product that's going to attract people to stay for not just to start here,
right.
But I want to like have you go down the entire street and like you want businesses to be open, you want people to have good products, and like you want to support each other,
right?
Because if you're on an island alone, it's not good.
So in other words, like with you guys on this particular block, it's more about, okay, I'm going to come here to the Coupe on Mondays and Tuesdays, but then maybe because I had such a great time up here in this neighborhood, maybe now I'll go down to the next spot.
Yeah.
And then I'll go to the next spot, Red Rocks. What else is on the street up here?
Red Rocks, Good Silver, Meridian Pint, El Chucho, Bad Saint, Room 11, Odd Provisions, Wonderland.
Like what kind of events did you all have here?
We have a derby thing today. And we try to connect to what's going on around town. Or just, like derby and things that would encourage people to come and be here. We do a lot of private events. I'm in charge of all the events for our entire company, so I manage all of the bookings and the shuffle that is. Our bar is very frequently used for like going away parties and brunch events in the morning and things like that. So we use that space a lot.
Okay.
I do a lot of buyouts for like I have rehearsal dinners where someone will buy out the entire this side, and all the people that are coming to that are regulars. They're people who have like a connection to this place,
right?
Especially for like a rehearsal dinner or a wedding reception or things like that. They want to show their friends and family that are coming in from in town, like spots that are important to them. That's why we have so much business from that, because everyone. I did a wedding shower it was a rehearsal dinner over at one of the other restaurants for somebody, and she's like, I literally call this place my kitchen because I don't eat at home. I only eat here. Right. So, that's great. Like, that's like the warm fuzzy of this. That, like, people are so connected to us that they really want to be here and like show their family and their friends like who they are.
Then the restroom earlier, and I saw like the calendar. Apparently on Wednesdays.
Oh, there's movie nights on Wednesdays. Yep.
Last time I was joking around with one of the people last time I was here. I saw you all did Coming to America.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, who picks the movies? And
Aaron is he's one of the managers.
Okay.
And his project was to put together this movie night, and so he picks all the movies. He's like a movie buff guy.
Okay.
And he and Martaz, who's the guy that's in charge of the bar operation,
right?
Put together a cocktail that's paired with a movie, and it works great. They have a good time. We have to do trivia on Mondays or Tuesdays. I should know that. I forget.
So you come in, you buy a drink, and then boom, movie up on the screen.
Yep, and it's down in the bar.
Down in the bar area,
yep.
so not over here.
Not anywhere.
Okay. Man, I wish I had I wanted to come down and see Coming to America. It's
I know. There's good options. We have Snatch, The Bronx Tale, Almost Famous, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Nine Queens, and then Coming to America.
What has been the most difficult business issue you've had to deal with?
There are many. Running any business is hard. One of the biggest challenges that we currently have is staffing, as I mentioned earlier, that there's just not enough people to work in this town that have skill, drive, availability. So that's definitely one of our. When you get to a company of our size, so we have 450 about employees. Mm-hmm. So it's 7 operations, 450 employees. Like, it's a big orchestra, or like big this. There's a lot of this.
Right.
But once you get that many employees, you become an HR company in a lot of ways, because there's, especially in this industry where it's, 70 plus or higher turnover.
Right.
So you're constantly bringing new people through, and it's just super expensive. Right. So that's the current biggest challenge that we have is HR.
And how much longer do you think you can do this?
I don't know. We're not as young as we were, but it does keep you young, though, I have to say. Restaurant people are unique. Like, you have to be crazy, a little bit crazy, to really like this. There's either restaurant people or you're not a restaurant person. Like, the hustle is real. And if you don't like to hustle and you don't like to move around all these different people and like really enjoy being around people, like, this is not the business. Like you asked earlier, like, why restaurants fail. Yeah. And like why, the failure rate is so high. Is people think it's easy, number one. It's not. People think it's like just all fun and games, and like all you do is just like hang out at the bar and all that stuff. And it's like not the case at all. And those are the businesses that fail, because if you think that's what it is, and a lot of people just don't have a business sense. They don't. This is running a business. Like, fundamentally, that's what this is. And if you don't run your business well, your business is going to fail.
Right.
And that's true for any industry, but especially for this, where people think that they enjoy going to restaurants and they've never done anything that is a like multi-million-dollar like enterprise. Like, no. And the margins are like this.
As far as profitability.
Yeah, like nothing.
I can,
You're not going to be rich unless the way that you're going to make a lot of money
Yes.
is if you have the ability to scale, so that you can use the margins, use your buying power for good. And until you get that big, like the larger restaurant groups or like chains or things like that, because they can buy at such a price point that it isn't as important when the labor cost is so high.
Okay.
So it's hard. I mean, we're big. We have 6 locations in a catering company.
Have you found yourself sitting at the bar counseling people like, yes, tell me about what's going on, or do they volunteer themselves up to you, or what?
Yeah, everything I do when if I'm forward facing, if I'm customers, working with customers, is you are helping them. Right. You are helping them have a good experience. You are reading their behavior. My staff. I mean, it's all about the relationship.
Do you remember what it was like opening up this place?
Yes.
Please.
Oh, God. It was very challenging. We opened up on the worst possible day you could ever think would be a good day to open a restaurant. It was Columbia Heights Day. Okay. We weren't ready. This restaurant is huge.
Yes.
And it was an epic failure. Like, it was horrible.
What? But nobody showed up?
No, there were too many people.
Too many people, okay.
Right. The expectations had been set so high because this project had taken so long.
Right.
And, like, we're well known in the community, and, like, everyone was, like, wanted this to work.
Right.
And we opened up, and, like, we weren't ready.
Wow.
And it was just insane. Absolutely insane. And it took us a year to recover from that. So from a business perspective, we were busy, it was fine, but, like, it wasn't the smart way to do it, for sure.
So I guess
lessons learned.
So when you say it took a year to recover, I guess the word of mouth was it's just not organized, or it's not this, or it's not that.
And it's hard, it's big.
Wow, I can't.
And, luckily, because of our customers and our reputation and everything, like, people wanted us to succeed. Right. So they had some patience, which they shouldn't have to have. You should know what you're doing. But, thankfully, it's been an evolution, for sure.
So what do you do when you're not here, hanging out,
doing
the
this?
restaurant? What do you do out here?
Well, I have 2 small kids, so there's a lot of that. We spend a lot of time in other people's bars and restaurants. Yeah, that's what we do. We have tons of parties at our house. Like, I'm just a very social person. Right. And, the community of our friends and then our neighbors and everything, it's always kind of a constant, like, who's coming over tonight sort of wheel of people. Right. Wish I had more time to do some things that were a little bit more relaxing, but I work 6 days a week.
The customer service piece. Mm-hmm. You've already spoken upon your view of it, but how do you articulate that to your staff to make sure that this is an experience that everybody wants to come back to?
Yeah, I think the base of hospitality, customer service, is being genuine and humble, and wanting to guide somebody through an experience that isn't about you. It's about their experience. It's not about how much money they're like, I'm going to make off this table, or our job is to create a positive experience for somebody. That's it. And you never know if someone's had a bad day or like what the situation is, but like your job is to treat everybody the same, genuinely nice to them, and actually care about their experience. And it's not everybody's is good at that. You have to, and so it's hard to do that all the time. It really is. It's exhausting to be forward facing. That's why, like, now I do a lot, and for years I've done a lot of the back end of the business side of it. Mm-hmm. But like being on the floor every once in a while is so much fun. It's so much fun because you get to talk to people and like make their day. There's a group in here. One of my best abilities is to be able to like see the whole space, notice a thing that's wrong, and like fix it quickly, but also just like behaviorally. It's all about like the detail stuff. Like there's a group that came in that clearly had just gotten married. Like they weren't like wedding dressed up or anything like that, but like she had a little bouquet and like they were dressed up a little bit. And they just like had no reservation. They clearly just like gone and done it in the park or like the courthouse or whatever. And they were sitting at 30, which is our circle table over here. And one of their party got up to go to the bathroom, and I was like, I don't mean to intrude, but did they just get married? And he's like, yes, they did, and it was so nice, and we're just here because it's like a relaxed thing. So I asked him, I was like, is it okay if I send over a bottle of champagne? Because obviously this is like a day for them. And he was just like, oh my God, thank you. Like, that is so sweet, so nice. And that is, to me,
that's it.
That's what we do. If you're good at this job, you pick up on that and you just silently make it happen and then don't take any credit.
When it's all said and done, the Coupe achieves its goal of creating an atmosphere that all can enjoy. It's a welcoming spot for native Washingtonians and anyone else who may be coming into the city. As far as local establishments go, this place is on the top of my list for neighborhood spots, mainly for the connection that it has made in the community. And the animal crackers too.